So module 2 last of is optical fiber connectors. Let us discuss module 2 last of optical fiber connectors today. So module 2 last of syllabus is optical fiber connectors. Under optical fiber connectors, we will be dealing with fiber alignment and joint loss, fiber splices, fiber connectors, and fiber couplers. So to refer second textbook prescribed in the VTU syllabus, that is Optical Fiber Communications Principles and Practice, written by John M. Senior, third edition. So in the same textbook, we have to refer chapter 5, that is optical fiber connections, joints, couplers, and isolators. 5.1 introduction, 5.2 fiber alignment and joint loss, 5.3 fiber splices, 5.4 fiber connectors, and 5.6 fiber couplers. So if you take first topic is introduction, second topic is fiber alignment and joint loss, third topic is fiber splices, fourth topic is fiber connectors, fifth topic is fiber couplers. So let us discuss 5.1 introduction. Optical fiber links are used for joining and termination of the optical fiber transmission medium. The number of intermediate fiber connections or joints is dependent upon first one the link length, second one the continuous length of fiber cable that may be produced by the preparation methods, and third one the length of the fiber cable that may be practically or conveniently installed as a continuous section on the link. Repeater spacing on optical fiber telecommunication links is a continuously increasing parameter with currently installed digital systems operating over spacings in the range 40 km to 60 km or transmission rates of between 2.5 gigabits per second and 10 gigabits per second. The two major categories of fiber joints currently in both use and development are as follows. First one, fiber splices, and second one, demountable fiber connectors or simple connectors. Fiber splices. These are semi-permanent or permanent joints which find major use in most optical fiber telecommunication systems. These joints are analogous to electrical soldered joints. Demountable fiber connectors or simple connectors. These are removable joints which allow easy, fast, manual coupling and uncoupling of fibers. These are analogous to electrical plugs and sockets. Fiber to fiber joints or fiber splices and demountable fiber connectors or simple connectors are designed ideally to couple all the light propagating in one fiber into the adjoining fiber. By contrast, fiber couplers are branching devices that split all the light from a main fiber into two or more fibers, or alternatively, couple a portion of the light propagating in the main fiber into a branch fiber. Moreover, these devices are often bidirectional, providing for the combining of light from one or more branch fibers into a main fiber. The importance and variety of these fiber couplers have increased substantially over recent years in order to facilitate the widespread deployment of optical fiber within communication networks. Although the requirement for such devices were less in earlier point-to-point fiber links, the growing demand for more sophisticated fiber network configurations has made them essential components within optical fiber communications. In this chapter, we therefore consider the basic techniques and technology associated with both fiber joints and couplers. A crucial aspect of fiber jointing concerns the optical loss associated with the connection. This joint loss is critically dependent upon the alignment of the two fibers. Hence, in this chapter, the mechanisms which cause optical losses at fiber joints are outlined, with particular attention being paid to the fiber alignment. Permanent fiber joints, that is splices, and generic types of demountable connector are also discussed in this chapter. Let us discuss 5.2 fiber alignment and joint loss. A major consideration with all types of fiber to fiber connection is the optical loss encountered at the interface. Even when the two jointed fiber ends are smooth and perpendicular to the fiber axis and the two fiber axes are perfectly aligned, a small portion of the light may be reflected back into the transmitting fiber, causing attenuation at the joint. This phenomena, known as Fresnel reflection, it is associated with the step changes in refractive index at the jointed interface, that is glass to air, air to glass. The magnitude of this partial reflection of the light transmitted through the interface may be estimated using the classical Fresnel formula for light of normal incidence and is given by equation 5.1 given below, that is R equal to N1 minus N divided by N1 plus N the whole square, where R is the fraction of the light reflected at a single interface N1 is the refractive index of the fiber core and N is the refractive index of the medium between the two jointed fibers. For air, refractive index is 1, that is N equal to 1. However, in order to determine the amount of light reflected at a fiber joint, Fresnel reflection at both fiber interfaces must be taken into account. The loss in decibels due to Fresnel reflection at a single interface is given by equation 5.2 given by loss Fres equal to minus 10 log 10 of 1 minus R. It is apparent that Fresnel reflection may give a significant loss at a fiber joint even when all other aspects of the connection are ideal. However, the effect of Fresnel reflection at a fiber-to-fiber connection can be reduced to a very low level through the use of an index matching fluid in the gap between the jointed fibers. When the index matching fluid has the same refractive index as the fiber core, losses due to Fresnel reflection are in theory eradicated. Unfortunately, Fresnel reflection is only one possible source of optical loss at a fiber joint. A potentially greater source of loss at a fiber-to-fiber connection is caused by misalignment of the two jointed fibers. So let us solve one problem. An optical fiber has a core refractive index of 1.5. Two lengths of the fiber with smooth and perpendicular and end faces are butted together. Assuming the fiber axes are perfectly aligned, calculate the optical loss in decibels at the joint when there is a small air gap between the fiber and end faces. Fiber end faces. Solution: the magnitude of the Fresnel reflection at the fiber and air interface is given by R equal to N1 minus N divided by N1 plus N the whole square. Substitute N1 equal to 1.5, N equal to 1. You'll be getting R equal to 0.04. The value obtained for R corresponds to a reflection of 4% of the transmitted light at the single interface. Further, the optical loss in decibels at the single interface may be obtained using equation 5.2, where loss Fres equal to or Fresnel loss equal to minus 10 log 10 of 1 minus R equal to minus 10 log 10 of 0.96 equal to 0.18 dB. A similar calculation may be performed for the other interface. However, from considerations of symmetry, it is clear that the optical loss at the second interface is also 0.18 dB. Hence, the total loss due to Fresnel reflection at the fiber joint is approximately 0.36 dB. Any deviations in the geometrical and optical parameters of the two optical fibers which are jointed will affect the optical attenuation, that is insertion loss, through the connection. It is not possible within any particular connection technique to allow for all these variations. Hence, there are inherent connection problems when jointing fibers with, for instance, first one, different core and or cladding diameters. Second one, different numerical apertures and or relative refractive index differences. Third one, different refractive index profiles. Fourth one, fiber faults. The losses caused by the above factors together with those of Fresnel reflection are usually referred to as intrinsic joint losses. The best results are therefore achieved with compatible fibers which are manufactured to the lowest tolerance. In this case, there is still the problem of the quality of the fiber alignment plotted by the jointing mechanism. Example of possible misalignment between coupled compatible optical fibers are illustrated in figure 5.1. First case is longitudinal misalignment, second case is lateral misalignment, third case is angular misalignment. In case of misalignment, that is, it is apparent that misalignment may occur in three dimensions. The separation between the fibers, that is longitudinal misalignment, the offset perpendicular to the fiber core axis, lateral or radial or axial misalignment, and the angle between the core axis is giving rise to angular misalignment. Optical losses resulting from these three types of misalignment depend upon the fiber type, core diameter, and the distribution of the optical power between the propagating modes. Examples of the measured optical losses due to the various types of misalignment are shown in the figure 5.2a and 5.2b. So 5.2a and 5.2b figures are shown here. 5.2a is insertion loss due to lateral and longitudinal misalignment for a graded index fiber of 50 micrometer core diameter, reproduced with permission from the paper P. Mossman, Radio Electronics Engineering. Insertion loss due to angular misalignment for joints in two multimode step index fibers with numerical apertures of 0.22 and 0.3 are shown in figure 5.2b. So if you take figure 5.2a, it shows the attenuation characteristics for both longitudinal and lateral misalignment of a graded index fiber of 550 micrometer core diameter. It may be observed that the lateral misalignment gives significantly greater losses per unit displacement than the longitudinal misalignment. For instance, in this case, a lateral displacement of 10 micrometer gives about 1 dB insertion loss, whereas a similar longitudinal displacement gives an insertion loss of around 0.1 dB. Figure 5.2b shows the attenuation characteristic for the angular misalignment of two multimode step index fibers with numerical apertures of 0.22 and zero point 0.3. An insertion loss of around 1 dB is obtained with angular misalignment of 4 degree and 5 degree for the numerical aperture equal to 0.22 and numerical aperture equal to zero point 0.3 fibers representative, respectively. It may also be observed in figure 5.2b that the effect of an index matching fluid in the fiber gas reduces increased losses with angular misalignment. Therefore, it is clear that relatively small levels of lateral and/or angular misalignment may cause significant attenuation at a fiber joint. This is especially the case for fibers of small core diameter less than 150 micrometer, which are currently employed for most of the telecommunication purposes. Let us discuss 5.2.1 multimode fiber joints. Theoretical and experimental studies of fiber misalignment in optical fiber connections allow approximate determination of the losses encountered with the various misalignment of different fiber types. Therefore, we consider here some of the expressions used to calculate losses due to lateral and angular misalignment of optical fiber joints. Longitudinal misalignment is not discussed in detail as it tends to be the least important effect and may be largely avoided in fiber connection. Also, there is some disagreement over the magnitude of the losses due to longitudinal misalignment when it is calculated theoretically, which was referred in papers 12 and 13. Both the group of workers claim good agreement with experimental results, which is perhaps understandable when considering the number of variables involved in the measurement. However, it is worth noting that the lower losses predicted by uh, paper put in more closely with a third group of researchers. Also, the other groups predict higher losses for fibers with large numerical apertures, which is consistent with intuitive considerations. Theoretical expressions for the determination of lateral and angular misalignment losses are by no means definitive, although in all cases they claim reasonable agreement with experimental results. However, experimental results from different sources tend to vary due to difficulties of measurement. It is therefore not implied that the expressions given in the text are necessarily the most accurate, as at present the choice appears somewhat arbitrary. Lateral misalignment reduces the overlap region between the two optical fiber cores, assuming uniform excitation of all the optical modes in a multi-mode step index fiber. The overlapped area between both fiber cores approximately gives the lateral coupling efficiency. Hence, the lateral coupling efficiency for two similar step index fibers may be written as equation 5.3 shown here. And the lateral misalignment loss in decibels may be obtained using equation 5.4 shown here. Lateral misalignment loss in multimode graded index fibers, assuming a uniform distribution of optical power throughout all guided modes was calculated in figure in reference paper 16. The author estimated that the lateral misalignment loss was dependent on the refractive index gradient alpha for small lateral offsets and may be obtained by equation 5.5. Lateral coupling efficiency is given by equation 5.6. Hence, equation 5.6 may be utilized to obtain the lateral misalignment loss in decibels with a parabolic refractive index profile where alpha equal to 2. Equation 5.5 gives. Hence, equation 5.6 may be utilized to obtain the lateral misalignment loss in decibels with a parabolic refractive index profile where alpha equal to 2. Equation 5.5 gives LT equal to 8 by 3 pi into y by a equal to 0.85 y by a. A further estimate, including the leaky modes, gave a revised expression for the lateral misalignment loss given by equation 5.6 of 0.75 into y by a. This analysis was also extended to step index fibers where alpha equal to infinity and gave lateral misalignment losses of 0.64 into y by a and zero point 0.5 into y by a for the cases of guided modes only and both guided plus leaky modes respectively. So this is example 5.2. A step index fiber has a core refractive index of 1.5 and a core diameter of 50 micrometer. The fiber is jointed with a lateral misalignment between the core axis of 5 micrometer. Estimate the insertion loss at the joint due to the lateral misalignment, assuming a uniform distribution of power between all guided modes when A. There is a small gap or air gap at the joint. Second, the joint is considered index matched. Solution first is A. The coupling efficiency for multimode step index fiber with uniform elimination of all propagating modes is given by equation 5.3. So by substituting the values of N1, N, Y, and A, you'll be getting N lat or neta lat equal to 0.804. The insertion loss due to lateral misalignment is given by equation 5.4. By substituting lateral misalignment efficiency in loss lat, you'll be getting loss lat equal to 0.95 dB. Hence, assuming a smaller gap at the joint, the insertion loss is approximately 1 dB when the lateral offset is 10% of the fiber diameter. When the joint is considered index matched, there is no air gap. The coupling efficiency may again be obtained from equation 5.3. After substituting, we are getting n lat equal to 0.872. Therefore, the insertion loss is loss lat equal to minus 10 log 10 of 0.872 equal to 0.59 dB. With index matching, the insertion loss at the joint in example 5.2 is reduced to approximately 0.36 dB. It may be noted that the difference between the losses obtained in part A and part B corresponds to the optical loss due to Fresnel reflection at the similar fiber to a rear to fiber interface determined in example 5.1. The result may be checked using the formulas derived by Arthur Globe for a multi-mode step index fiber where the lateral misalignment loss, assuming uniform elimination of all guided modes, is obtained using LT equal to 0.64 Y by A equal to 0.128, as the lateral coupling efficiency and lat equal to 1 minus 0.128 equal to 0.872. Again, using equation 5.4, the insertion loss due to the lateral misalignment, assuming index matching, is loss lat equal to 0.59 dB. Hence, using the expression derived by Glog, we obtain the same value of approximately 0.6 dB for the insertion loss with the inherent assumption that there is no change in refractive index at the joint interface. Although this estimate of insertion loss may be shown to agree with certain experimental results, the value of around 1 dB insertion loss for a 10% lateral displacement with regard to the core diameter is more usually found to be the case with multimode step index fibers. Further, it is generally accepted that the lateral offset must be kept below 5% of the core diameter in order to reduce insertion loss at a joint to below 0.5 dB. So example 5.3, a graded index fiber has a parabolic refractive index profile alpha equal to 2 and a core diameter of 50 micrometer. Estimate the insertion loss due to a 3 micrometer lateral misalignment at a fiber joint when there is index matching and assuming first one, there is uniform elimination of all guided modes only. B, there is uniform elimination of all guided and leaky modes. Solution, first case, that is solution for A. Assuming uniform elimination of guided modes only, the misalignment loss may be obtained using equation 5.7. LT equal to 0.85 into y by equal to 0.85 into 3 by 25 equal to 0.102. The coupling efficiency is given as N lat equal to 1 minus LT equal to 0.898. Hence, the insertion loss due to the lateral misalignment is given by equation 5.4. Loss lat equal to minus 10 log 10 of 0.898 equal to 0.47 dB. Solution for the B case. When assuming the uniform elimination of both guided and leaky modes, Logue's formula becomes LT equal to 0.75 into Y by A equal to 0.09. Therefore, the coupling efficiency is 1 minus 0.09 equal to 0.910, and the insertion loss due to lateral misalignment is loss lat equal to minus 10 log 10 of 0.910 equal to 0.41 dB. It may be noted by observing figure 5.2a, which shows the measured lateral misalignment loss for a 50 micrometer diameter graded index fiber, that the losses predicted above are very pessimistic. Uh, a model which is found to predict insertion loss due to lateral misalignment is in graded index fibers with greater accuracy was proposed by Miller and Mettler in reference paper 17. In this model, they assumed the power distribution at the fiber output to be of Gaussian form. Unfortunately, the analysis is too detailed for this text as it involves integration using numerical techniques. We therefore limit estimates of insertion losses due to lateral misalignment in multimode graded index fibers to the use of Glock's formula. Angular misalignment losses at joints in multimode step index fibers may be predicted with reasonable accuracy using an expression for the angular coupling efficiency given by equation 5.8, where theta is the angular displacement in radians and delta is the relative refractive index difference for the fiber. The insertion loss due to angular misalignment may be obtained from the angular coupling frequency in the same manner as the lateral misalignment loss following equation 5.9. The formulas given in equation 5.8 and 5.9 predict that the smaller the values of delta, the larger the insertion loss due to angular misplacement. Let us discuss example 5.4. Two multimode step index fibers have numerical apertures of 0.2 and zero point 0.4 respectively, and both have the same core refractive index of 1.48. Estimate the insertion loss at a joint in each fiber caused by a 5-degree angular misplacement of the fiber core axis. It may be assumed that the medium between the fibers is air. Solution: the angular coupling efficiency is given by equation 5.8 as 16 n1 by n the whole square divided by 1 plus n1 by n whole to the power 4 into 1 minus n into theta by pi n1 into 2 delta to the power 1 by 2. So numerical approach, we know the formula for numerical aperture, which is approximately equal to n1 into 2 delta to the power 1 by 2. Hence, we can write neta angular approximately equal to 16 n1 by n the whole square divided by 1 plus n1 by n whole to the power 4 into 1 minus n into theta divided by pi into numerical aperture. For the numerical aperture 0.2 fiber, n angular equal to 0.797. The insertion loss due to the angular misplacement may be obtained from equation 5.9, where loss ang equal to minus 10 log 10 of n ang equal to 0.98 dB. For the numerical aperture equal to zero point 0.4 fiber, n ang equal to 0.862. The insertion loss due to angular misalignment is therefore loss ang equal to minus 10 log 10 of 0.862. Hence, it may be noted from example 5.4 that the insertion loss due to angular misalignment is reduced by using fibers with large numerical apertures. Some intrinsic coupling losses at fiber joints are shown in figures A, B, and C. A is core diameter mismatch, B is numerical aperture mismatch, C is refractive index profile difference. So assuming all the modes are equally excited in multi-mode step or in graded index fiber, and that the numerical aperture index profiles are same, then the loss resulting from mismatch of the core diameters is given by loss CD equal to minus 10 log 10 of A2 by A1 the whole square in decibels, where A2 is less than A1. 0 if A2 is greater than or equal to A1, where A1 and A2 are the core radii of the transmitting and receiving fibers respectively. Same way, when the transmitting fiber has a higher numerical aperture than the receiving fiber, then some of the emitted light rays will fall outside the acceptance angle of the receiving fiber and they will therefore not be coupled through the joint. Again, assuming a uniform model power distribution and fibers with equivalent refractive index profiles and core diameters, then the loss caused by a mismatch of numerical apertures is given by loss Na equal to minus 10 log 10 of Na2 by Na1 the whole square in decibels, where Na2 is less than Na1 and it is 0 if Na2 is greater than or equal to Na1, where Na1 and Na2 are the numerical apertures of the transmitting and receiving fibers respectively. Equation 5.11 is valid for both step index fiber and graded index fibers, and it is common with the equation 5.10. It demonstrates that no losses occur when the receiving parameter, that is numerical aperture, is larger than the transmitting one. Finally, a mismatch in refractive index profiles results in a loss which can be shown by loss Ri equal to minus 10 log 10 of alpha 2 into alpha 1 plus 2 divided by alpha 1 into alpha 2 plus 2 in decibels, where alpha 2 is less than alpha 1 and it is 0 whenever alpha 2 is greater than or equal to alpha 1, where alpha 1 and alpha 2 are the profile parameters for the transmitting and receiving fibers respectively. The intrinsic losses obtained at multimode fiber to fiber joints plotted by equations 5.10 to 5.12 can be combined into a single expression as follows. Loss, internal loss, intrinsic losses are loss into equal to minus 10 log 10 of A2 Na2 square into alpha 1 plus 2 into alpha 2 divided by A1 Na1 the whole square into alpha 2 plus 2 into alpha 1 in decibels. For A2 is greater than A1, Na2 is greater than Na1, alpha 2 is greater than alpha 1, otherwise it is 0 decibels. For A2 less than or equal to A1, Na2 less than or equal to Na1, alpha 2 less than or equal to alpha 1. It should be noted that equation 5.13 assumes that the three mismatches occur together. Next, we'll discuss single mode fiber joints, that is 5.2.2. Misalignment losses at connections in single mode fibers have been theoretically considered by Marcuse in reference paper 23 and Gambling et al. In reference paper 24 and 25. The theoretical analysis, which was instigated by Marcuse, is based upon the Gaussian or near Gaussian shape of the modes propagating in single mode fibers, regardless of the fiber type. And further development of this theory by Gambling et al. Gave simplified formulas for both the lateral and angular misalignment losses at joints in single mode fibers. In the absence of angular misalignment, Gambling et al. Calculated that the loss T1 due to lateral offset Y was given by T1 equal to 2.17 into Y by omega the whole square into dB, whole square dB, where omega is the normalized spot size of the fundamental mode. However, the normalized spot size for the LP01 mode may be obtained from the empirical formula given in reference papers 24 and 19.